So here's something most people get wrong about calm. Just because you're not reacting doesn't mean you're regulated. You might look composed, you might even feel proud of how still you stayed in that conversation or situation. But underneath, if your mind's still looping, your chest is tight, your breath is shallow, that's not calm. That's a pattern. And if you've been training that version of calm without realizing it, there's a good chance it's the very thing keeping you stuck. Hey, it's good to be with you here. Today we're going to unpack what real calm actually feels like, why the version you've been living might be blocking your growth, and how to start training something different on purpose. You've probably learned to associate calm with non-reaction. If you're not yelling, not crying, not visibly spiraling, then you're fine. But here's the truth. Not reacting doesn't mean you're regulated. Let's say you get an email that frustrates you. You don't reply, you don't lash out, you even meditate for a few minutes. But afterward, your mind is replaying the whole conversation. You're imagining comebacks, second guessing your tone, playing out what you should have said. You tell yourself you're calm, but your system hasn't actually shifted. This is what we call freeze. You've just gone still on the outside, but your internal state is still activated. You're not training calm. You're reinforcing the pattern of suppression. Here's the important distinction. Freeze can look a lot like peace, but it's not. Freeze is a nervous system response where your energy collapses inward. It's not chosen, it's automatic, and it often gets mistaken for calm because there's no visible reaction. But inside, you're disconnected from the body. You're not breathing fully. You've lost sensation in your torso. And the mind, it starts spinning because it's trying to fill in the gaps. Have you ever left a conversation completely composed, but later obsessed over every word you said? That's not emotional regulation. That's an untrained system looping in a pattern of fear, shame, or judgment. And over time, that loop becomes your baseline. You stop even recognizing it as overthinking. You just call it normal. So let's define calm accurately so you know what to train. Real calm isn't passive. It's energized stillness. It's the ability to be fully present with sensation, to breathe into your belly, to feel grounded in your body, to remain aware of what's happening internally without spinning out or shutting down. Calm isn't the absence of emotion. It's the presence of emotional command. In that state, it has to be trained. It's not something you stumble into. It's not a personality trait. It's a skill built through repetition, consistency, and intention. If this is landing and you're starting to recognize some of these patterns in yourself, subscribe. I release new videos each week that help you train the inner game, not just talk about it. Let's reframe overthinking. It's not the issue, it's a signal. The signal is this: your system doesn't feel stable, so the mind ramps up to compensate. Overthinking is a mental loop that tries to create safety by figuring everything out. But it can't, because safety isn't mental, it's physiological. If you catch yourself spinning in thought, ask, what emotional state am I unconsciously training right now? Is this state aligned with who I choose to be? Because that's what's actually happening. You're training a state whether you're aware of it or not. And if that state is anxiety, worry, or doubt, you're reinforcing it every time you indulge the loop. So don't fight the thoughts. Shift the state. Choose the emotion that aligns with your vision. Train that instead. Let's name something that happens for a lot of high performers. You've trained yourself to keep it together. You handle pressure well. You speak calmly. You don't lose your cool. And that looks like mastery, but often it's just a well-trained freeze response. You're suppressing instead of redirecting. And the cost shows up in other places. Insomnia, emotional distance in relationships, low-grade anxiety that never quite goes away. You might say things like, I'm fine, I just need a break. I'm just tired. I don't really feel anything. And that's the clue. You're disconnected, not calm. Real calm doesn't feel like that. It feels focused. It feels steady. It feels alive. Let's bring it into your day-to-day life. You're in a conversation where you normally shrink, shut down, or over-explain. But this time, you stay in your body. You feel the discomfort, but you train presence instead of reacting. That's calm. You look in the mirror and the critical voice kicks in. But instead of spiraling, you breathe, reconnect, and choose self-worth. That's calm. You get hit with a surprise deadline. The pressure's there, but your system stays responsive, not reactive. That's calm. It's trained, and it's always available when you choose it. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly felt present, not just quiet, but steady, open, and engaged? If it's been a while, you haven't failed. You've just been unconsciously reinforcing the wrong state. And that can change. This week, start to interrupt the pattern. When you say, I'm calm, or think, I'm fine, check in. Can I feel my breath in my belly? Is my body relaxed or bracing? Am I choosing calm or suppressing discomfort? This is where the training begins. Don't try to fix it. Just choose what you want to train intentionally again and again. Because here's the truth. You've trained your intellect. You've trained your performance. Now it's time to train your inner state with the same precision. Ask yourself this. What emotional state am I practicing every day without even realizing it? And is that the state I want to live from, build from, and connect from? That's your access point. That's where everything begins to shift. If you're ready to stop managing symptoms and start training your inner world with structure, clarity, and results, I've built a system for that. It integrates your thoughts, emotions, and nervous system into a simple daily practice so you don't just understand your patterns, you transform them. Links below if that's something you want to explore. And if you're on Instagram, I share a few practices and insights each week at Mike Wang Coaching. Would love to connect with you there. You can also join my weekly newsletter. It's where I go deeper into these tools and how to apply them in real life. The link's below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.